One final question, Prateek. You've been handling equities in various positions for more than 30 years. And if we look at the last 25 years, uh, people who stayed invested in equities made very, very decent returns. I mean, there are multiple mutual fund schemes. I'm not even talking about direct equity, but multiple mutual fund schemes that have delivered over 20%, 21% CAGR over 25 years and compounded serious wealth. But very few Indians actually participated in that growth of the markets. I mean, or stayed invested for that long a period of time. Uh, if there is a 25-year-old who's listening to you today, what would you tell her for the next 25 years? Is there enough growth opportunity in India to make good money through equities? I'm not asking you how much we will make because nobody can predict that. But typically one would say, oh, but we've already grown by this much. So can we grow? Can our markets grow? But from whatever I've heard you say, so far, there is enough and more wealth to be made even in the next 25 years.
One, I don't think I need to tell the youngsters what they should do. They're already doing it. A lot of the money that comes into the market in a very, very regular manner through SIPs and through inputs into mutual funds month on month is the money of youngsters. I think formalization of the economy has attributed to it, plus the fact that we have seen such strong growth over such long periods of time. And I speak of experience from my own son. I had this conversation where after he put in his first few monies into a mutual fund, markets fell. And he says, Papa, market तो गिर गए हैं तो अच्छा है ना, हमको सस्ता मिल रहा है. मैंने कहा बॉस निर्वाड़ा हो गया तेरा तो. So this is the kind of fresh out of college guy getting his first job, investing some small surpluses, and I think this is what is seen across the country. If we map when people are investing more, it is when markets fall. When we see when net monies are lower. So last month markets made a new high, net inflows were lower. The month before markets were probably lower. We saw very high inflows kind of stuff. So I think we are seeing a huge maturing of Indian investors, helped by formalization, helped by regulation, which is making mutual funds kind of structures cheaper for investors and much better regulated. Uh, in terms of growth story forward, uh, you know, I don't know about 25 years because the only example we have is of China, which did well for that period, and we may have used 5-10 years of that. So let's not talk 25 years. It is possible. We are still a very poor country, just about or over $2,000, $2,200 per capita. Similarly looking countries like a Thailand, Malaysia, forget China, are 2x, 3x richer on per capita. And if we reach even their levels, we should be as an economy over a 10 trillion economy, which will probably take over a decade to reach. So from 3.5, today the first goalpost is 6, then maybe 10, I think. So for 10 years, even if as an economy, even if as a race, we need to just be where Thailand, Malaysians are already there. And why I say is because when you go there, they feel very, very like India, very similar to
Mm.
India.
Mm.
uh, that runway of growth is definitely there. And if you then want to reach up to where China is, it could be longer. This is a country where you see brilliance all around, and that should make people confident. Go to the West, see people struggle if you make changes at the cash counter. Try doing that and try doing it in India. In India, it is taken in the stride. Nobody will say anything in the West. Well, you will hear choicest of words. So that is the difference. The fire in the belly that you have in India, big cities, yes, but if you go to smaller cities, it's not funny. Is not funny. Brilliant people wanting to achieve more for themselves, their families, their country is something which is not paralleled. So, that we will grow and deep into the future is a given.
Right.
How deep, fast is something that time will tell. I will take it differently. How many people thought we will win medals in athletics,
Mm.
in Olympics? It's happening, right? uh, Sports after sports where we thought others would do better, people have started to give competition and are highly ranked.
Mm.
Yesterday, I had this, experience of a 19-year-old Hyderabadi kid coming to our office, and I met him in the canteen, and he runs a business which makes 350 crores of revenues and close to 300, if heard it right, PBT. And he has started that business. So, we looked up to the West for technology leadership, and we mimicking them. I think it is changing. While we are still followers in many spaces, we are leading now in many as well. So that gives a lot of confidence. That gives a lot of. In fact, if you look at the latest generation, in the past when you and me were younger, we prayed that we should not change, and any amount of capex that we have done in the past we are able to sweat for longer, and we were always reluctant adopters of change. Now
Mm.
look at it this time. Somebody is saying EV autos are our largest this thing, we are saying हम तो पहले करेंगे.
Mm.
Same thing with solar, same thing with UPI, industry after industry, spaces after spaces. This is a country which does not want to, keep holding to what was the past. It increasingly wants to be seen to be leaders of change, a huge change. And which makes me very confident that going forward, as the thought leadership comes, the economic leadership, economic growth leadership should also come and sustain for long.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Prateek. Thank you so much for coming by, sharing your wisdom, which you have, with a lot of hard work, built over many, many years. I do look forward to many more conversations with you. Thank you very, very much for taking time out. Thank you, Prateek.
Have a great day. Bye bye.